Okay, here is the situation. If you've ever argued about whether East Van or West Side of Vancouver is better, congratulations, you're both right and you're both a little wrong. Because right now, Vancouver's market has split into two. The West Side is napping after a long luxury binge over the last several years. The East Side is still caffeinated, but is starting to slow down. It's like realizing that triple shot of espresso wasn't the best idea. And the result is one of the weirdest markets we've seen in years, where buyers actually have leverage and the sellers are finally looking a bit nervous. So let's break it down. East versus West. Okay, the product by product, neighborhood by neighborhood breakdown. And we're gonna see where the real opportunities are hiding. Across Greater Vancouver, the market is stuck in neutral. The sales to active ratio, it's basically how much of our inventory actually sells. It's sitting at 14.2%. So that's 14 out of 100 homes selling. Sales are down roughly 14% from last year, and the inventory is up 13%. And the average home, it's taking longer to sell. The Bank of Canada, it's cut rates 4 times, down to 2.25% in the overnight lending rate, but it still hasn't brought the flood of buyers people were hoping for. So what we're seeing instead is pockets of activity. The smart money moving quickly while everyone else just scrolls and saves listings. Let's start on the West Side. This is where things have, let's call it, they've gotten reflective. Detached homes, those are sitting at 8.6% absorption, and that's a textbook buyer's market. The average sale time, well, it's around 42 days in October, up from 35 last year, but it's not catastrophic. Overall, West Side inventory is up about 9% year over year, so the buyers, they actually have choices. Prices, those are down about 3.6% year over year. And at a $3.25 million benchmark price, that's still a 6-figure haircut. Neighborhood by neighborhood, Kitsilano and Kerrisdale, those are actually holding their ground. The lifestyle there is still what sells it. Point Grey and UBC, those are down double digits. It's kind of a luxury fatigue that's quite real. South Canby and Marpole, those are softer too because buyers, they've finally got options in those neighborhoods. Townhomes, those are the bright spot. Absorption around 16.3%, and the sales actually up nearly 20%. Fairview and Canby are still moving, especially anything under $1.5 million with parking and sunlight. Condos, about 14.8% absorption. Sales down just over 20%. Cole Harbour and Yaletown, those are oversupplied. Classic post-COVID cool-off. The West Side, it's the steady one, the West End rather, that's the steady one, still trading because people just love it and they trust that neighborhood. So overall, the West Side is still expensive but beautiful, but it's sitting. If you're an upsizer or if you're an investor, this is your window to make a smart play while everyone else overthinks. Now cross Main Street and the energy really changes. East Van is still, it's humming, if I could say that, but it's an uneven hum. Detached homes are at 13.8% absorption, which is still a buyer's market, but it is improving. Mount Pleasant is up 6.5% year over year, and that's one of the few areas in the city where the detached prices actually rose because it wins on walkability, lifestyle, and schools. Meanwhile, Renfrew and South Vancouver, those are off in that 10 to 14% range. And Killarney, it's more like the mid-single digits, so you can paint the whole east side with one brush. Townhomes in East Vancouver are the most valuable player. They're up 24.3% absorption from last year. Now, Grandview, Woodland and Maine are leading, and inventory is moving there. And these are family-sized, character-ish, SkyTrain adjacent. These are places that buyers actually want. Condos, those are wobbling, roughly 19 to 20% absorption. Sales down around 14%, but they're still selling in about 25 days. So the right listings, they don't sit. And the townhome segment specifically, days on market has jumped about 65%, which tells you buyers have some room to negotiate and they're using it. So East Vancouver's got more action, more turnover, but also more volatility. And here's what's fascinating. For the first time in years, East and west are heading in opposite directions. On the west side, sellers are chasing yesterday's market. On the east side, the buyers are chasing tomorrow's deals. Detached luxury, it's correcting quietly. Mid-range townhomes are holding steady. Condos, especially investor-heavy ones, those are where you're going to see the biggest pauses. It's not a crash, it's not a boom, it's just a big rebalancing. Just a quiet opportunity, a quiet window if you're paying attention. So if you're selling on the west side, the key word is patience. Price strategically, market hard. If you're in East Vancouver, the key word is timing. Be ready to move when something good hits. Vancouver's not cold, it's just catching its breath. And these slow, boring markets, they are where the smartest deals get made.